I'm very proud to be here with all of you. I'm Andrew, and I worked for Yandex.Money company. I think most of people know about this company, but for our friends from foreign countries, I need to explain. This is a big company like Russian PayPal. We made big application, big data-intensive application. And today we will talking about, but I must admit, I don't like web application. I always prefer desktop application or mobile application. And I made front end. And today we will talking about backend. No, we will talking about front end, but something in the middle. And what is front end? Simple question. I think this is front end. This is our old application from 2005 maybe. And this is front end. It's our modern web application. And this is front end too. It's mobile application. Desktop application, web application, mobile application. And all of this is front end. Why? Because we need backend. Backend with data. And we need to get this data from backend. From this point of view, front end, that's all who far from data. It's near to presentation. And backend, it's close to data. It looks like meme. You know this meme, I think. But I prefer this version for me because I prefer backend. OK, we have two types of frontend, and we need to get data. How we can get data? Typical way, it's API. One for all them all, like in the Lord of the Ring. Maybe REST. Who like REST? Oh, maybe you backenders? No? Because frontend don't like REST. OK. And about responsibility. This is front-end responsibility. This is backend responsibility. Sometimes we need server-side rendering. Sometimes backend developers can do it for us like this. In the Java code or in the PHP code. And this is backend responsibility. Sometimes we prefer some modern ways like Next.js or Nuxt.js. We use Node.js, and this is our front-end responsibility. And what about API? What's wrong with generic API? These front-ends not the same. Why? About web. We have daily releases, continuous deployment, evergreen client-side. And about mobile, weekly or monthly release, backward compatibility, and generic API, from this point of view, ineffective. We always get more or less data what we need. And we have bad developer experience. And it slows down our progress. And from my point of view, I work for big company. We have another problem. It's a problem of teams. Typical big IT company, Asian times, completely separates guys. They together produced monolith. Who like monolith? I like monolith too. But modern, present day, we have teams, we have domains, areas, And we have microservices. One microservice for every team. If you want to know more about this structure of IT company, just Google Spotify Agile. Google is just a verb. Of course, you can use Yandex for it. Okay, about areas of responsibility. This area of responsibility for transfers team. This area for payments team. This is for messages team, and this is for offers team. And they have own front end. Maybe it looks like widgets or views. Maybe. But we have this part. It's generic API. Whose responsibility is it? Simple question and simple answer. Super team. This team now about all domains and always busy. You always need something from this team. Just let's separate API and make own API for every team. This is main idea of BFF, or Backend for Frontend. One backend for every frontend. And about responsibility. It's an area of responsibility one team. This is area of responsibility second team. And in the team, this is area of responsibility for frontenders. And BFF is something new. Evolution of Yandex.Money frontend. From 2005 to nowadays. We have Xscript, we have BAM, and we have React. Xscript. How it works? Browser send request to Xscript. Xscript send request to Java. Java responds with XML, and Xscript responds with HTML and JSON. This is front-end responsibility. We used XML for declarative data queries. Very interesting, something from past. And XSLT for convert XML to HTML. In 2005, XSLT used to be a hero. Now it dies. And we used ECMAScript for XML, E4X. And nowadays, BAM and React. Same scheme. Browser send request to Node.js. Node.js send request to Java. Java responds with JSON. Node.js responds with HTML and JSON. And front-end responsibility. And why Node.js? We have this scheme. Browser, server. And what about basic requirements for BFF? We need isomorphic libraries. Why? Because we want to use same libraries on the backend and in the front end. We need same language on the backend and in the front end. We need high RPS because it's a big application, data-intensive application. And it works like API gateway. We need async I/O, input-output. And Node is good for it. Randall made Node.js like server and remain it to Node, but it server inside. Not the tools like tools for Webpack or Gulp. But I/O is slow. Every I/O is slow process. JavaScript is a single thread. How it can work fast? Typical synchronous language from past. Typical from past synchronous language. We made a query to database. We just waiting for response and do something. How it can look like? It's a server, it's a connection to our server, it's a thread. Connection, thread. connection, thread. And what about modern application with thousands of connections? It's not working, because we have multi-thread CPUs, but it's 8 or 10 cores. In modern way, it's asynchronous I/O. We made a query to database, do something, and do something with a result. How it works on single thread. We have server, there are many connections, and every connections have a handler in thread. One handler for one connection. How it works inside. Node.js consists of two parts, V8 and libuv. And V8 register I/O task. And after task complete, libuv invoke handler. And this part, this is a JavaScript land with single thread. And this part is a C or C++ land with multiple threads. And what's wrong with this scheme? OK, just imagine we have some simple handler, like 2 + 2. OK, it's working. Invoke another simple handler. OK. And invoke something big. It's not OK. It stops all your system on Node.js. Don't block event loop. It's typical thing for all Node.js developers. Don't block the event loop. But what I need long CPU-intensive operations? Sometimes I need it. But Node.js is good for I/O and bad for CPU-intensive. What if I need? Base way, partitioning. This code is not partitioning, and cost big O(n). It's partitioning code with cost big O(1). How it works? Very simple. Asynchronous recursion. OK. Most interesting way, offloading. We use it every day in our company. We can split our operation to split workers. Main worker and worker with some CPU-intensive operations. Two processes. And we need to communicate with this process. It's IPC. It's working, but always we have serialization and parsing. We send messages and we read messages. We have a bridge problem. Modern way is worker threads. We can run worker in one thread. No. We have multiple threads, but we have one process. All works in one process. And we can use shared memory for communicate. But it's still experimental, maybe in next year. Very interesting. Very important, worker threads, it's not multi-threading. No multi-threading in Node.js for JavaScript. And hardcore way, C++ add-ons. We can use C++ in our JavaScript code. How? We can make some C++ function and just invoke it from JavaScript. But it's fast and good, but it's dark side of the force. Why? Pros, it's fast. Really fast. But cons, it's a C++, hello sigfolds. It depends on operation system version for Mac OS 1, for Unix second version. It depends on Node.js versions. You always need to rebuild it. You rebuild it with Node.js. It's a very old utility. Not good, not good. And how fast is it? Very fast. This is micro WebSockets library that's faster than all, faster than, for example, Go. But it's a C++. OK. About Node.js. It's good, but what's the problem here? This won't end well. Node.js, bad parts. You know this meme, but today about Node.js. There are no ready-made solutions. Express and Nest only, and Express built on top, or Nest built on top of Express. You always need to do your own solution. OK, modular system problems. You know about it. And problems of async programming, from callback hell to async await hell. Just example of synchronous, asynchronous function. Sometimes it's synchronous, sometimes it's asynchronous function. Not good. We always need to think about monitoring. Simple pipeline for monitoring. It's Prom client, Prometheus, and Grafana. You need big monitor in your office, and you always need to monitor your application. Too complicated, too many backend things, yes. The way to escape from backend Python, it's FAS, function as a service. For example, serverless, thanks for Slobodan. And we have another way. If you have a connection cost, like Netflix, not Quark FAS platform, you can make pre-assembled service container and put your logic in this container. For every team made some simple logic, and platform team made a container. Of course, in the Docker. Conclusion. Node.js is good for SSR and API. And for CPU-intensive logic, use Java or Python or Go or something like this, etc. Node.js is good for CPU-mild business logic, sometimes. Node.js is good for AWS Lambda. And Node.js is bad for CPU-intensive business logic, because you need always thinking about don't stop your event loop. And for serve static resources, of course. Because static resources, why you don't use Nginx for it? Nginx is better. And thanks for your attention. That's all.
Okay, please welcome here. You can take a seat, and we will ask you some questions. Maria, you will be first.
Okay. We may create child processes from the Node.js script. Why it's still considered single-threaded?
Child process, it's another process with one single thread, yes. Maybe I don't understand the question right, but it's always single thread.
Why it's still considered?
Because every process is one copy of Node.js.
Okay. Why do you think Nginx is bad? Nginx, why it is bad?
Nginx is good.
Okay.
Nginx is good, and Node.js is bad if you're using it like Nginx.
Okay, and which server mobile app you prefer to use? Still Backend For Frontend or Java, Python, etc.?
For backend?
Yeah, for mobile app.
for mobile app.
Yeah.
I think we need BFF for mobiles too, but now GraphQL is better for mobile teams because we don't have same language for iOS on server and on mobile. But sometimes I know about Kotlin on server and on mobile for iOS, but I don't know. I'm not a mobile developer.
Okay.
How to get out metrics from Node.js app?
We can use Prometheus.
And if you write Backend for Frontend, how you deal with API versioning?
We don't need versioning because we have API for own frontend, and it's every time it's green. We don't need versioning. That's why BFF is better than API.
Okay. And how to get detailed metrics from Node.js? Yeah? Okay.
With Prometheus or something
sure.
like this.
When Yandex.Money will support browser payment API?
It's NDA.
Thank you.
Yeah, now please choose the best question.
Maybe about mobile development, because it's an interesting question.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much again.
Thank you.